So, childhood diseases, most people get them in their childhood if they're not immunized. That is the measles. That's chickenpox. This is shingles. I didn't get it. Mine wasn't that ugly. It was certainly quite unpleasant when I got the shingles. Same virus, but you don't get chickenpox twice. If you get this, look at that poor little kid there. Um, yeah, look, if you're an adult, it's a million times worse than that because you get them up your nose, in your mouth, where the sun don't shine. Yeah, you can join the dots on that. Literally. um, so the measles, it's not just a rash. You can get deafness or brain damage. My grandmother had the mumps and she was deaf in one ear because of the mumps. Chickenpox, shingles, itchy and painful blisters, they sure are. I don't remember getting the chickenpox, thank God. So parasites, we got some parasites, that's a tick. That's malaria. A parasitic relationship, we get this symbiosis where one benefits, the other one could be killed and certainly harmed. So malaria is caused by this parasite, which is carried by mosquitoes. Malaria is pretty common. There's a vaccine against it, but if you're in a poorer country and don't have access to the vaccine, you can still get it. Can kill you. Dysentery is pretty bad. So people are in areas that don't have fresh water. Little amoeba in there, and it can get into their bodies that way and make them very, very sick. If someone has dysentery, they have a lot of trouble getting the nutrients they need because they've got diarrhea all the time. Here's some parasites. There's an ugly tick. That one's full of blood. Hopefully it's not a paralysis tick. This is a botfly in someone's eye. How about that? Ugh. This is a copepod. It gets in there, eats the fish's tongue, and then whatever food the fish gets, or some of the food the fish gets, the copepod eats. Oh God. I remember why this picture's there. So, if you're a male, you don't want to be in the water with these because they can get in. Yep. Here's some other parasites. So fungi often decomposes, but spores can get into your lungs. They like it when it's moist. So your first and second line of defense basically will get rid of fungus that's in your lungs. Another wet place, your feet, so tinea is a fungus, and thrush. It's a white fungus in body orifices. Girls are particularly susceptible to thrush. Environmental diseases are not caused by genetics or pathogens. So diet, pollution and lifestyle. So nutrients, you should know what nutrients are if you were listening in PE. So sugars, proteins, carbohydrates, minerals, vitamins, oxygen. Here's a list of nutrients and what they do for us. It's not exhaustive, though. You can read those on your own if you want. Undernutrition. Okay, kwashiorkor is this one. You're wondering why those kids have such big bellies. They are not fat. Their nutrition is so bad that they don't have very much strength in their abdominal muscles and they can't keep their organs inside. These are their organs. Isn't that horrible? So these kids do not have enough muscle tone in their abdominals to hold their internal organs inside. It's horrible. So this is a result of scurvy, so vitamin C deficiency. So that's why in the good old days on ships they used to have sauerkraut and things like that to give themselves vitamin C. This one's rickets. So vitamin D deficiency will lead to rickets. It's actually re-emerging because in order to process vitamin D you need sunlight. And because people are becoming so protective of putting themselves out in the sun, they've got vitamin D deficiencies. Calcium deficiency will also lead to it. Undernutrition can also cause anorexia, osteoporosis, and anemia. So anemia is a lack of iron, so maybe not much red meat, not many iron-rich vegetables. Osteoporosis, again, not enough calcium, so you've got that lack of density. Anorexia is just basically body is starved, so in order for the cells to even survive, it's got to use any energy that's there, like I said, breaking down the muscle as well. Eventually, people with anorexia, if it's not treated, they will die from that and just basically starve themselves to death. Overnutrition, this is probably the biggest issue in Western society now. So we can look 250 pounds, we're talking 120 kegs. So this person has got a massive amount of body fat. So this person is more like 55. So they're both female, we can see by their hips. Look in the internal organs. So there's fatty tissue which holds your organs in place. Look at this person. So much fatty tissue there that it's actually causing problems for those organs, making it difficult for them to function. Basically in humans, anything below the waist, so fat legs, that doesn't cause you any health issues, generally speaking. But from the waist up, can be pretty bad. Overnutrition is another form of malnutrition. It's caused by an oversupply of nutrients, sometimes called lifestyle diseases. Unusual physical activity can lead to it, so you could be doing no physical activity or too much physical activity. You might have heard of a BMI test. It's okay for most people to say whether they're overweight, obese, etc., but it's unsuitable for really muscular or really lean people. So people have a really slight frame. They can be really quite healthy, but their BMI will tell them they're way underweight. And people who are particularly muscular, they might have very little body fat and be considered in the obese category with a BMI. So it's probably not the best way to look at it. If you do any physical sport science or anything like that, you might come across the BMI or any health science. So overnutrition can cause obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, stroke, cancers. And that's the end. Well done.